Okay, well, got a package in the mail. Let's see what we got in it. Well, we've got one thing here, and it looks to be your basic power cable. This looks like it might be, I wonder if it's the European one. No, just a normal barrel. 90 watt. That's good, as opposed to the 65. Okay. Somehow they threw this in. Very interesting. It looks like to be an extra wireless dongle. I'm hoping we don't need it, but I guess we'll see. All right. I should stop the rocking. I should explain that I didn't get everything, all my questions answered. Mainly having to do with the drive caddy, which I've told everyone, make sure you get a drive caddy. I did make sure that it had Wi-Fi, at least that's what's listed in the, the description. No real pictures on the inside. I'm impressed. The outside is kind of clean. This was a much more expensive unit because we're going to be using this to replace an aging tower that's an HP that we've had almost 15 years now. Still working great. It's got built-in hardware RAID and 16 gig of memory. It's humming along. So let's open this guy up. Let's see. Loosen a little more. And we'll reveal what it's caught on something. Oh, here we go. Aha! It also said it was supposed to come with a drive. So I'm pleased to see that we do have the drive caddy. This is kind of interesting. It's metal, the SSD. I wonder what we've got there. It's supposed to have 16 gig of memory. Let's see. Let's first check that out. I'm hopeful that it's dual channel, 2 sticks. What do we've got? Boy, that's a tight fit there. Oh, okay. We do have 2, so we do have our dual channel. I believe I'll have to double check the specs. I think this is a i5 9700T. I think that's right, something like that. Okay. Let's see what this puppy is. Okay. Let me pause for a sec. Okay, let's pop this up. Okay, this is going up. Good. Oh, nice. Pushes it right out. What do we have here? Solid state drive. Huh, HP part number. So this must have been some 256 gig SATA drive that came with the unit originally. I'm assuming, since it's got an HP part number. Don't see HP anywhere else, but I'm impressed with. I really like this metal. That's kind of neat. Okay. I'm gonna put that to the side. Let me get my tool and we'll open this up and see what we've got underneath. Okay, very similar to others where we want to take these 2 out first so that the ribbon doesn't get disconnected. That's in there pretty tight, okay. Move this down a little bit. Let's see. It's a little tight. Well, that's good. That means it's probably hasn't been really touched much. Okay, we'll take these two out. The funny thing, I like collecting, and so I've tried to get all generations 1 through 4 of the EliteDesk 800. Now I've got the G5. I also have two G2s, both the 35 and the 65. Most of the time when you're collecting things, the older it is, the more expensive it is. You collect these, the older it is, the cheaper. It's the newer ones that get more and more expensive. Like I was looking at, boy, like the G6s. Ooh, you know, for my budget's a little high. This one was a little more expensive than, you know, obviously than the other units. Although in comparison, it wasn't that much more than the same amount that you'd pay for a G4, considering that it already had the memory. That was one of the things I wanted to look for. Okay, we do have a Wi-Fi, yay. Does have the setup for, it's supposed to be able to support multiple, oh, there it is. I'm just looking at it wrong. Multiple M.2s. Looks like this would also support the 2230. Looks like you could probably do a 2230 here, although it's missing the little stay here. You'd have to find something to stick in there. What I'd like to do with this unit is to get two NVMe drives and possibly do RAID 1, the mirroring. I'm not quite sure whether I'm going to go for it. We'll see. I do want to explore and see what I can do with the Flex.io and see. Supposedly, the V2 version of these Flex.io only works with the G6, but I want to do a little more research on that and see if perhaps it works with the G5, because then you can add a second network connection, a second NIC. So that's pretty clean. Wow, I'm impressed. It's pretty clean. I'm gonna put everything back and fire it up so that I can see. It's supposedly, I believe, on this guy, Windows 11 Pro is supposed to be already pre-installed. We'll check that out too. Update the BIOS. Those sorts of things, but I wanted to just kind of show you, and I was excited to finally be able to open this. Well, as soon as I plugged it in, it just booted right in. So I'm going to go through the kind of the setup, and then maybe could show some of the basic features there. Well, it's got all the stuff it's supposed to have. It's got the 9500T, 16 gig of memory. I'm going to go and check to see if that BIOS can be upgraded. Since this is going to be a general purpose, desktop replacement, I thought I would change out the VGA that's right here for HDMI. I'll pick this up off of eBay, all nicely sealed here. Let's look. Yep, HDMI. Okay. Some of the units, getting stuff out of here is pretty tight, so we're going to see if we're going to have to remove the drive caddy to get to it better. Actually, I think I am going to, just to make life a little easier, I'm going to take out this drive caddy. So I'm beginning to suspect maybe this is the wrong part, because what I did was I took off the face plate and just curious to see if I could get the holes to line up. And if I do this guy, then this one doesn't come. And then if I put this one, then that one doesn't fit. So I don't know. I didn't think there were that many differences between the two, or the different ones, and I thought what I ordered was the code number for this particular Flex IO. We'll keep trying. Well, this is embarrassing after all of that. Turns out that I got a little misdirected when I was looking for the part on eBay, and the part I was looking for the G5 was listed as a alternative part number, but that's not right, because what I was actually sent was the version 2 HDMI, which only fits the G6 onward, does not fit the G5. So reaching out to the seller, see what I can do to get a replacement. All right, I put the VGA back, and we'll find out if we can get a new true, correct Flex IO for HDMI. So what we're going to do while we've got this open is see if we can get this guy to fit over in this particular section. So let's take this screw out. And the reason I want to check all this is my plan is to do hardware raid. I purchased two 512 coaxia. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. It used to be Toshiba 2230s that I'm going to put into these two areas, and then I'm going to do hardware raid. And I'll also have a video about that, and maybe also look at some of the other units to see how they do it. So I'm going to need a pretty big one there. Let me go see if I can find a screw that's going to fit in there. Had to find a rather huge, beastly looking screw here that would fit in that. Even trying, I think, a normal standoff didn't fit in there. So let's see how that's going to fit with it. Okay, I was able to find one. It may have even been the one we started out looking, but what I ended up doing is coming in, looks like this guy, coming in at an angle slightly. And then part of it is I want to make sure, we'll have to see when we get the actual ones coming in, is I want to make sure I'm not hitting any of the components on the card. But if we screw it down, we get a pretty tight fit. Now, here it is. Now we should be able to fit this in pretty comfortably. Let's see. Yeah. It's not as nice of a fit, I find, as the prior generations, but it will screw down. So, and I'm looking on the side here. yeah, it's already clearing the thing. So, so I think we'll probably end up using that configuration. I may leave this in here for now just so I can make sure that it's being read and, you know, temperatures, all that kind of stuff look okay. But not ultra wild about the fact that it's touching the board. Let's just make sure there's nothing really important underneath there. I mean, let's see. Because the flip side of the card, it's should be rather inert. So, okay, I'm not gonna fuss on it too much here. All right, screw it down. Boom. Okay, so we'll have that. I said once we get both of them, we'll put in there. Hopefully, we'll get the replacement, so we're getting the actual HDMI. Everything else looks pretty good for what we're going to do with the G5. Let me check just for curiosity whether the G4 has that same hole like that. Okay. All right, I'm going to just put the drive back in because I want to boot up and I want to make sure that no issues with that 2230 being in this slot here. So at least that way I'll know going into it when I start doing the next video that we're in good shape. So it does recognize that. So this is the normal main SATA drive. This next one, the D, that's the 128 in that other position. Looks good. This is a PCI 3x4. Temps pretty good, 21. Actually, it was warmer when it was in the other section. It was more like 26. So, of course, maybe just because we just turned it on, but looking pretty good. So, at least we know that it reads it well. If you're curious, here's just some benchmarks on that one drive. Yeah, decent, better than SATA. So.